every 4.5 days, somebody in Wisconsin is killed due to domestic violence. Something has to change.
Right now, troubling new statistics putting Wisconsin as one of the worst states for domestic-related homicides.
Plus, the jury officially set now after a bumpy start to a high-profile murder trial in Waukesha County.
And later, a Wisconsin law firm filing a suit against the Biden administration, hoping to put an end to the student loan forgiveness program. That's all coming up right now at 10. Thank you for joining us tonight. When it comes to the rate of women murdered by men, Wisconsin ranks 8th in the nation for intimate partner violence.
McKenna Alexander breaks down the latest data and explains why this is happening so frequently in our state. McKenna.
Yeah, around this time every year, the Wisconsin Policy Center publishes the most recent edition of its annual study, Why Men Murder Women. The updated report is nothing short of alarming. And while October marks Domestic Violence Awareness Month, it's clear that here in Wisconsin, awareness can sometimes be the difference between life and death. The Violence Policy Center's latest study paints a picture of Wisconsin that's difficult to believe but important to understand. Using data from the FBI's Supplementary Homicide Report, the study found in 2020 the national domestic violence homicide rate for 100,000 females was 1.34. In the same year, Wisconsin reported a rate of 2.05, equating to 60 victims. That number may not seem much until you look at previous years. From 2019 to 2020, there was a 150% increase in Wisconsin domestic violence homicides. From 2015 to 2020, a 250% increase. And from 2010 to 2020, a 300% increase. Advocates attribute Wisconsin's high rate of domestic violence homicide to four main things. The first, access to guns. And Domestic Abuse Wisconsin's 2021 homicide report found of the perpetrators that used a firearm to murder an intimate partner, over 1/3 were not legally able to possess one.
The ability to obtain that firearm is a huge hindrance and leads to more perpetration.
Next, not enough protection for victims.
A lot of times what we see is someone will file a restraining order and there is a form that you can fill out to surrender firearms. And so oftentimes perpetrators who are allowed to have guns keep their guns because they hunt.
Third, a lack of understanding when it comes to domestic abuse.
Perpetrators need to be held accountable and victims need to be helped and not shamed.
And finally, awareness.
People need to step up and people need to realize that this is happening in your neighborhood.
For more details about both of the domestic violence homicide reports referenced in this story, just visit channel3000.com.
Opening statements will begin Thursday in the Waukesha parade trial. Today, a jury of 16 was chosen, and just like yesterday, the defendant, Darrell Brooks, who is representing himself, was removed from the court after several outbursts. He was again brought to a different room where he could participate via video. Brooks is facing 76 charges, including 6 counts of first-degree intentional homicide.
New tonight, the McFarland School Board announced tonight it would be accepting the resignation of the high school's associate principal following her use of a racial slur. In her resignation letter, former administrator Ann Nichols wrote that she said the full N-word while asking a clarifying question when one student brought a concern that another student had said the word to them. Also new tonight, we're learning more about a fatal crash in Sauk County. Happened on Highway 12 at the intersection with Highway 188, just outside Sauk City. A driver was turning left onto eastbound 12 when it was hit by another vehicle traveling west on 12. That vehicle flipped. The 33-year-old female driver was ejected and killed. The highway was closed for several hours but reopened around 8:30 tonight.
To weather now, Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti has our first warn forecast.
Another great day across southern Wisconsin, and this evening temperatures are still comfortable. Let's start out by taking a look at the time lapse from the WISC Skycam, looking off toward the east. A few more clouds today than the last couple of days, but it was a nice sunrise this morning, and you can see just some cirrus clouds through much of the day. Otherwise, we had plenty of sunshine, and the rain still well out to the west of us over parts of Iowa and Minnesota, getting a little closer, but I think the best chances for rain will probably hold off until about midday Thursday. High temperatures today, we're in the 70s across all of southern Wisconsin. We should be in the middle 60s. 72 the high in Madison, 73 in Janesville, as warm as 78 degrees in Lone Rock. And right now temperatures are up and down, ranging from the upper 40s to the lower or to the upper 50s, depending on where you are. A lot of that just has to do with the wind. The winds are generally light, and so temperatures are fluctuating up and down. 49 right now in Cross Plains. Current temperature of 52 degrees in Belleville and 50 degrees in Deerfield. By tomorrow morning, we'll be down to about 46 degrees with partly cloudy skies overnight. We'll see one more mild day tomorrow, but then it changes on the way for the end of the week. I'll tell you how chilly it'll get in just a few minutes.
New tonight, former President Donald Trump has asked the Supreme Court to intervene in the dispute over materials the FBI seized from his Mar-a-Lago resort. Those classified documents have helped fuel a high-profile investigation for the past several weeks. His emergency request with the court is the latest example of the former president seeking to involve the justices in investigations that entangle him. Trump appointed 3 of them. A conservative Wisconsin law firm is suing President Biden to stop student loan forgiveness.
The Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty filed that suit against the president today, claiming that his plan is unconstitutional. Braden Ross has more.
Once a loan is forgiven, it can't really be undone.
The Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty is moving fast to stop student loan forgiveness.
We need a judge to step in quickly, and we hope that a judge will, and if not, we will appeal this all the way to the Supreme Court.
Today, the conservative law firm announced a lawsuit against President Biden over his student loan forgiveness plan. Dan Lennington, an attorney on the suit, says it's all about the taxpayers.
We think that that's just a breathtaking usurpation of congressional authority to tax and spend, and that we're not going to stand idly by while he does this.
The lawsuit claims Biden doesn't have the authority to order student loan forgiveness in a program they say could cost up to $1 trillion. It also argues the program is discriminatory because Biden has said it's specifically aimed at helping black borrowers.
The idea there is that our laws, our Constitution, need to be colorblind, and our Constitution demands that they're colorblind.
The lawsuit is the third filed to challenge Biden's plan, and as UW law professor Howard Schwaber explains, it might have teeth.
This gets to a basic separation of powers question. With the current version of the Roberts Court, I think it's quite possible that if this goes to the Supreme Court, the challengers will win.
For News 3 Now, I'm Braden Ross.
And the suit asked that a judge immediately block forgiveness of student loans until that lawsuit plays out.
The October 2022 special session of the Senate come to order. Without objection, the October 2022 special session will adjourn pursuant to Senate Joint Resolution 1. The October 2022 special session is adjourned. Objection.
Well, that was it. The entire special session in the Assembly today called by Governor Evers, the state Senate, doing the same thing, gaveling in and out immediately without any discussion. Democrats in the room visually upset with how it played out. Now, the special session was called to consider a way for voters to have a say on how the state should handle abortion access. Currently, a pre-Civil War abortion ban is the law in the state, which has no exceptions even for rape or incest.
Outside of the Capitol, Democrats and supporters holding a rally of their own. They say the access to abortion services and whether it should be allowed in the state should be up to the voters, not a law that was created back in 1849. A Marquette University Law School poll last month showed both the state's governor and Senate races to be about even, while a majority of voters support abortion rights. Candidate for U.S. Senate Mandela Barnes holding an event with the Moms for Mandela Coalition in Madison today. It's part of his Ron Against Roe tour. He says it's a way to keep Senator Ron Johnson accountable for his record on abortion access. He will also be making stops in Racine, Eau Claire, and Milwaukee, all part of the same tour.
And Senator Johnson again today repeating his claim again that the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol was not an armed insurrection. At the Rotary Club of Milwaukee, he added that protesters, quote, did teach us how you can use flagpoles, that kind of stuff as weapons, end quote. The senator has repeatedly downplayed the seriousness of the riot. And in the race for governor, the Tavern League of Wisconsin throwing its support behind Republican Tim Michels. The group endorsed him this afternoon at a campaign event at a bar in Baraboo. As a business owner, they say they believe Michels understands their needs. Today, Wisconsin affordable housing service providers hosted a listening session in Beloit to better understand how the system can improve and let anyone who may need assistance know what their services are in place.
As they told our Armand Rahman, they want more people to understand housing is a human right.
That's right, Eric and Charlotte. Wisconsin Community Action hoped to hear ideas about how the system can be improved because with inflation, they say the average cost to build an affordable housing unit is now about $300,000. Organizers say affordable housing is in a crisis and individual communities play a big part in that change. Right now, more than 350,000 households in Wisconsin spend half of their income just on rent.
We're really hoping that local groups will take an activist approach to problem solving in their communities and that we can funnel this into a statewide effort to begin to make change.
Since February 2021, more than $200 million in American Rescue Plan rental assistance went to 48,000 households across the state. 27 million of that went to Rock and Walworth counties. And even though organizers say the money can speak for how much affordable housing is needed, they hoped people experiencing homelessness could share their stories tonight with local officials and community members to show how affordable housing is more a human issue than a financial one.
Country music legend Loretta Lynn has died. Known as the Queen of Country Music, she passed away at her Tennessee home today. Her 7-decade-plus career in music started shortly after she picked up a $17 guitar from Sears. By 1970, she had written the autobiographical Coal Miner's Daughter, which became her signature song. Lynn was inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame in 1988 and released her 46th solo album, Still Woman Enough, in 2021. Loretta Lynn was 90 years old. Still ahead tonight, the final days for the F-16s in Madison.
Plus, Culver's announcing plans to bring back a fan favorite that sent customers into a frenzy last year. Stay with us.
Join Planet Fitness today and get more epic energy and better sleep with tons of equipment in our clean and spacious clubs. Join for $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, October 14th.
I'm Joe. I'm from Wisconsin, and I've been a Republican for my entire life. Tim Michels is way too extreme for the people of Wisconsin. I'm very concerned about Tim Michels. He has refused to say that the 2020 election was legitimate or that future elections will be legitimate. Tim Michels supports no exceptions for rape, incest, and that is unacceptable.
Republican Accountability PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
The Internet of Things is evolving, creating the Internet of You. And Spectrum, America's leading internet and mobile provider, is bringing you seamless connectivity across all your devices. Introducing Spectrum One, Spectrum Internet with speeds of 300 megabits, advanced Wi-Fi, and Spectrum Mobile Unlimited, all for just $49.99 a month. Call 833-673-4999. Spectrum Internet delivers speeds up to a gig with over 99.9% network reliability. Advanced Wi-Fi provides enhanced security and privacy that automatically blocks threats to protect all of your devices. And Spectrum Mobile gives you unlimited talk, text, and data with nationwide 5G and the most reliable service coast to coast. Switch now. Call 833-673-4999. At Spectrum, it's not just about connecting things. It's about connecting you. Get it all with Spectrum One, Spectrum Internet, advanced Wi-Fi, and one line of Spectrum Mobile Unlimited for $49.99 a month. Call 833-673-4999 or visit a Spectrum store today.
Wisconsin is a home of workers. We know what needs to get done, and we do it. Yet, we've been hit hard, some harder than others. Our contact may be limited, but we still can lift each other up. The Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy providers are working together to help keep your heat and power on. You may not ask for it, but we want you to know we're here.
Join Planet Fitness today and get more epic energy and better sleep with tons of equipment in our clean and spacious clubs. Join for $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, October 14th.
TikTok be having people doing everything on the Jennifer Hudson Show.
See if you like it.
You go first. Country music star Jimmy Allen is here. Plus, Queer Eye's Bobby Bird.
Design is all about what makes you happy.
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3. You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Welcome back. The 115th Fighter Wing in Madison will bid farewell to its final F-16 tomorrow at Truex Field. The jets are moving out to make way for the new F-35 jets, which are expected to arrive in Madison in the spring of next year. Officials said that some F-16s from other units will remain at Truex Field temporarily in order to conduct training while the 115th transitions. And looking ahead, a year after it caused a statewide frenzy, the Curter Burger is returning to Culver's. The burger will be back back on the restaurant chain's menu starting October 12th. And this year, customers will have more time to get a taste. Instead of a one-day event like last year, this time the Curter Burger will be available through the end of the month.
Well, there are now fewer places to pick up a paycheck. Today, the Bureau of Labor Statistics reported there were 10.1 million job openings last month. Now, that's down more than 1 million available positions compared to July, and the lowest it's been since June of 2021. And new tonight, U.S. home prices continue to fall. According to new data from analytics company Black Knight, July and August saw the largest single-month price declines since 2009. This comes as inventory stalls, with potential sellers not putting their houses on the market. Potential home buyers are also holding off as interest rates rise. Next at 10, the death toll is now more than 100 in Florida as a result of Hurricane Ian, and that number may rise as search teams are still trying to work through all that destruction.
CBS's Ted Scouten is in Fort Myers with the latest.
Search and rescue operations are continuing nearly a week after Hurricane Ian ripped across Florida. Emergency teams with cadaver dogs have checked thousands of homes and rescued more than 2,300 residents.
There's massive destruction, wood pilings that we can't actually see under, and there are voids sometimes under there.
Officials say they are making progress restoring power, but it will be weeks before the job is done.
Every single minute, every hour, every day, things are flowing much better.
The debris is being piled high here in Fort Myers, like you see right here. A lot of times people coming back to their homes to find there's not much left to salvage.
The floors are ruined, the walls are down, the ceilings have all dropped down, the water level is above the roof. This is everything we could salvage. It's our lives.
The only road to nearby Pine Island was washed out.
Can we jump on yours? Yeah, absolutely.
Residents who stayed through Ian are just getting back to the mainland, catching rides with the Coast Guard or kind strangers. How grateful were you to get on that boat?
Wonderful.
Renee Swanson regrets her decision to ride out the storm.
It's horrible. Family member there. Sat in the bathroom for 4 hours, a little bathroom in the condo, because the window broke, the doors broke out, and we had a constant flow of rain, glass, and shingles in my condo.
President Biden visits Florida Wednesday to meet with local officials, families, and first responders. Ted Scouten, CBS News, Fort Myers, Florida.
The Lee County Sheriff says 4 people have been arrested for looting.
New tonight, it is a dream come true for a former Wisconsin man now living in Rockford. Lincoln Bias is a self-taught pumpkin carver who now finds himself in the spotlight among the nation's best after a casting company reached out to him on Facebook looking for contestants to be featured on a Food Network show.
They wanted to know if I was interested in being on the show. And I said yes, and the next thing I know, I'm on the Food Network.
Well, Bias didn't always carve pumpkins. In fact, he specializes in turning fruits and vegetables into flowers. Using the skills he learned doing that, he was able to transition into carving faces. To see his work for yourself, you can catch season 3 of Outrageous Pumpkins right now on the Food Network. And it's really starting to look like fall around the Midwest as well. This video from Schoolcraft, Michigan. You don't have to go that far, though, to see the colors changing. In most cases, that can be done simply by looking out the window. It's starting, Gary.
Right, you can just go right up Raymond Road.
I was going to say Raymond Road and also on Maple Grove Road. I mean, that really
Beautiful,
looks nice with the yellow trees. So, but I'm colorblind, so I can't appreciate it quite as much. Well, high temperature trend over the next 10 days. If you're going to look at the fall colors, you better bundle up, because we're going to go from 70 tomorrow to 62 on Thursday and 50 for a high temperature on Friday. Temperatures will stay below normal into early next week and then drop off again toward the end of next week. 8 to 14-day temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center calls for below normal temperatures across our part of the country. Warmer than normal weather is confined mainly to the west coast, but precipitation should be below normal through much of the northern and southeastern portions of the country, with near normal precipitation in between. We could see a chance for a couple of showers and thunderstorms in the Tuesday-Wednesday time frame, but then another prolonged period of dry weather is possible after that. 3 things you need to know. Tomorrow will be mild, one last mild day, high temperature around 70 degrees, and then we'll see some shower chances. I think the best chance will be about midday on Thursday, and we'll see that in Future Track in just a minute. But chilly weather still on the way for the end of the week into the at least the middle part of the weekend, with the coldest temperatures early on Saturday morning down into the lower 30s, and that'll probably put an end to the growing season in most areas. High temperatures today, very comfortable. Lower 70s across almost the entire state of Wisconsin, some 80s to our south and to our west, but there are some showers starting to develop across parts of Minnesota Minnesota and Iowa. These have been holding together a little bit more than they have in recent days, but still the air across our part of the country is dry. The upper level winds also from southwest to northeast, so these showers will head more toward northwestern Wisconsin than they will toward our part of the state. But as this cold front slowly starts to move eastward, we'll see those shower chances increase at least a little bit. Again, the dry air will work against any widespread shower activity, and right now winds are out of the south, and that's keeping our temperatures fairly mild. Although it's 50 in Madison, still 58 in Milwaukee, 56 degrees in La Crosse, and even some 60s out to the west right along that front, but then those temperatures drop off behind it, and that's the cooler air that'll be heading in. On future track, you can see the precipitation staying out to our west for tonight. Tomorrow during the day, just a slight chance for a shower during the afternoon. Tomorrow night, again, just a slight chance for a shower. So you can see the precipitation chances are not that high, but on Thursday, as a cold front comes through, that's when the better chances for showers will come in, and then after that, we'll turn really chilly as skies clear out by early on Friday morning, but even colder for Saturday morning. 70 for the high tomorrow with variably cloudy skies, just a slight chance for a shower west of Madison in the afternoon. Planning your day for tomorrow across Dane County, 70 for a high in Oregon, 70 in Mount Vernon, and 69 in DeForest, so variably cloudy skies, so a little more cloud cover than today. More cloud cover to the north and west for tomorrow, 68 for the high in Baraboo, 70 in La Crosse, and 70 in Platteville. And as we check out future track precipitation, not much, less than 1/10 of an inch in most areas. So you can see everybody will probably see at least a little bit of rain, but very little at that. As we look at the 7 to 10 day forecast, we dropped to 62 on Thursday and actually see temperatures start falling already in the afternoon. 50 for a high on Friday, and frost likely by early on Saturday morning as low drops to 32. Saturday back up to 55, Sunday back up to 62, and then lower 60s early next week with some shower and thunderstorm chances Tuesday and Wednesday, and another shot of cold air toward the end of next week. And just a reminder, help keep kids warm this winter. Coats for Kids runs through Saturday, October 8th. Bring your new or gently used coats, snowsuits, mittens, hats, gloves, snow pants to any area Clean Can Cleaner's location. They'll clean them up and get them set for distribution to those in need later on in October with the Community Action Coalition.
Just over 2 weeks away from the Bucs' season officially tipping off, and the team already has a spotlight on it. We got more details coming up next in sports.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Did you know Tim Michaels said people shouldn't be openly gay in public?
But I think when you bring it out of your house and onto the public street, that's where I differ.
Is that the kind of divisive radical you want as your governor?
Stanton Optical is the best value in eye care. We do the math, people. For $79, you get all this. That costs over $400 at LensCrafters, over $200 at Walmart, and over $150 at America's Best. When it comes to value, Stanton Optical is the top bird.
Fall is the best time of year to apply grass seed from Menards. Schultz Sun and Shade Grass Seed offers superior resistance to insects, diseases, and droughts, ensuring optimal lawn care performance. All Schultz Grass Seed is 11% off. Now your furry friends can enjoy your fresh new lawn with innovative products from PetSafe. From pet fences to training collars and more, PetSafe has everything you need to keep your pets safe. Get 11% off all PetSafe products at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
In a recent clinical study, patients using Salonpas patch reported reductions in pain severity, using less or a lot less oral pain medicines, and improved quality of life. That's why we recommend Salonpas. It's good medicine.
Welcome. We're so glad you're here. Looking for one of our most capable Ford SUVs? Okay, great. We've got you covered. Spacious interiors, innovative tech, good looks, and a legendary off-road experience. Check out our inventory today, or let us help you place a custom order. Getting into the perfect Ford SUV? Well, it's easier than ever. Yeah, we've got you covered. Now choose FlexBuy on a 2022 Ford Escape or Edge and get 0% financing for 66 months.
National call centers, they're just not the way to go when you can meet with a trusted and knowledgeable Medicare insurance agent from Informed Choice Insurance Agency. Because nobody knows your local hospitals, doctors, and pharmacies like your local Informed Choice Insurance agent.
No one goes all in on made-from-scratch freshness like Papa Murphy's. Because when you go all in, people notice. Go all in with the Triple Pet Pizza for just $11.99. Papa Murphy's. Change the way you pizza.
With Choice Hotels, there's always a reason to book it.
Save 20% when you stay 2 or more nights at participating locations. Book direct at choicehotels.com. Terms and conditions apply.
At Stanton Optical, you get great value on eye care, including contacts. Right now, get a 1-year supply of AccuView Oasis and an eye exam for only $189. Scan now to book your eye exam. Yay, technology.
Tim Michaels' company has been sued numerous times for sexual assault and harassment. Women said they were groped and pressured to have sex with their bosses. Those who spoke out were fired. Is that the kind of divisive radical you want as governor?
This week, it's about finding balance. Jim Leonard, of course, not wanting to dismiss the work that Paul Chris did over the years, but also has to get the team ready for its game against Northwestern. Leonard says he actually loves where his team is at this week. They had a great workout, practice the last 2 days since the news broke on Sunday night. Leonard is taking over for his mentor at a tough time. The Badgers are 2-3, winless in the Big Ten, and are on the road this weekend. During Leonard's presser this morning, he said the last 48 hours have been listening more than talking, allowing those players to vent.
Initially felt like there's very little I can say to this team to handle that emotion in the moment. You know, it hurt a lot of guys, and had a lot of conversations with the team individually as units, and then starting to reach out to individual guys as well, just because everyone's going to handle it a little bit differently.
The Badgers kick off in Evanston this Saturday at 2:30. Zach and Jim Polzine will have much more on Leonard taking over the program, the upcoming game with Northwestern, and what happened against Illinois on this week's Badger Blueprint. That airs tomorrow during News 3 Now at 10. It's week 5 of the season, and that means it's time for the Packers to go international. The team leaves on Thursday to head to London, and naturally that makes preparing for Sunday's game very different than other weeks. Aaron Rodgers hopped on the Pat McAfee show today to talk about the upcoming trip, as they are the last team to play a regular season game out of the country. Knowing how well Packer fans travel, this is something that Rodgers, he's really looking forward to.
Nobody wants to give up a home game against the Green Bay Packers because, you know, our fans travel well. We're going to show up in the stadium. That place is going to be packed, whether we're playing at a rival team or whether we're playing at a team we only play at their stadium once in 8 years. You know the Packer fans are going to show up.
No playoffs this season for the Brewers, but they still got a chance to close the season out on a high note. Game 2 with the Diamondbacks tonight. Garrett Mitchell gets the offense started early. His second homer of the season. Luis Urias is going to add to it in the 3rd with a solo pop. Now, Eric Lauer keeps Arizona off the scoreboard. 7 punch-outs over 6 innings. Crew gets the shutout tonight, 3-0. The season finale is set for tomorrow at 3:10. And history is finally made tonight. Aaron Judge breaks the American League single-season home run record when he smashed his 62nd homer against the Rangers. He passes Roger Maris's record, who he sat tied with for almost a week. And Bucks basketball is almost back. Yes, the preseason is in action, but the regular season tips off on October 20th for them. Before the games even start to count, the Bucks have already been tabbed as the favorites to win it all by the league's annual GM survey. The Bucks have 43% of the votes and are ahead of the defending champions Golden State. We'll be right back.
It's Wow Wednesdays at Hy-Vee. This Wednesday, fresh ground beef, only $1.88 for a 1-pound roll. And Hy-Vee macaroni and cheese, only 19 cents. Wednesday only. And visit HyVeeDeals.com for even more deals.
Ron Johnson and China. Here's how it works. While in the Senate, Johnson made $57 million from a family business whose growth was directly linked to China. He invested in Chinese factories, and Johnson's family business got $50 million in loans from the Bank of China. Johnson pushed for shipping American jobs overseas, while he got rich. Ron Johnson's out for himself, not us. SMP is responsible for the content of this ad.
Leisure Concepts has your new hot tub in stock and ready for immediate delivery. Steel and composite construction, whisper quiet perimeter insulation, ozone, UV, and salt systems on any model. Free delivery, cover lift, steps, training, and all at the lowest price. Learn to love winter fully submerged in hot, turbulent water. Get to Leisure Concepts and see almost 70 hot tubs in our packed showroom on the Beltline at the Park Street exit.
I'm gonna get you! Stop chasing your sister!
Making things better is kind of your thing. stumped. It's hard to know how to make it better.
Maybe I can help.
Security Health Plan. Everything you need from a Medicare plan. Everything you expect from a good neighbor.
Dear gas prices, Toyota's hybrid lineup says, go take a hike. Because we bring efficiency with power and savings with style. Think you can stand in our way? We got this. Toyota Hybrids.
Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our no-cost maintenance plan with roadside assistance. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
I worked on the force for 30 years. I've seen plenty of politicians, but Mandela, he's the real deal. Mandela doesn't want to defund the police. He's very supportive of law enforcement, and I know his objective is to make every community in the state of Wisconsin better. I trust him to get the resources that we need to keep people safe and to reduce crime in the first place. As a retired cop, I want someone like Mandela. Mandela is the right guy for the job.
I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
It's Wow Wednesdays at Hy-Vee. This Wednesday, 3 pounds of Halos Mandarin Oranges, only $2.99. And Brawny Paper Towels, only $2.99. Wednesday only. And visit HyVeeDeals.com for even more deals.
This portion of News 3 Now sponsored by RG Heating and Air Conditioning. You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Finally tonight, a $1 million Powerball ticket sold in Mauston over the weekend. Wisconsin Lottery says the ticket was sold at the Quick Trip on Gateway Avenue Saturday. This is now the second time this year a $1 million Powerball ticket was sold in Wisconsin. The store will also be given $20,000 for selling that ticket.
That's not a bad thing.
No.
All right, Gary's here with the final check.
Well, if you didn't win the lottery, the weather's still pretty nice. Live view from the Edgewater Sky Cam. Partly cloudy out there. Temperature right now 50 in Madison. Most areas upper 40s to the lower 50s here in Dane County. We're seeing a few temperatures in the 40s, including 46 right now in Middleton. Look for a low tonight of about 46 by morning.
All right, Gary, thanks. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10.
Do something good, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.